Good morning and welcome to Business and Go on DRTV, where we'll update you with happenings in the business world as we look at prices, products, services, and the economy, and also bring you conversations around it. I'm Mercy Amrasawari. Let's join Mercy on Business News.
Hello, good morning and welcome to Business News. The cost of premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, has risen to as high as 200 naira per litre at depots, which means that motorists should brace up to buy PMS above 200 naira per litre at filling stations. It was learnt on Monday that PMS cost, which was about 178 to 185 naira per litre, recently has been jacked up by private depot owners due to the drop in supply by the Nigerian Petroleum Company Limited, among other operational concerns. This came as both the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria and the Petroleum Retail Outlets Owners Association of Nigeria told journalists that tankers were now spending more than 1 week on queues for petrols at depots. The National Vice President Ibman Abubakar Magandi confirmed the reduction in supply by NNPC and the hike in the ex-price depot for petrol at depots in Lagos and Warri in Delta State. News from Shell Global Solutions and GE Gas Power have signed a development agreement to collaborate on liquefied natural gas decarbonization deal using 100% hydrogen as a low-carbon fuel for gas turbine. The deal announced on Monday said the GE will collaborate with Shell to develop potential low-carbon solutions aiming to reduce the carbon intensity of Shell's LNG supply projects around the world. Under this agreement, GE will accelerate development for the use of 100% hydrogen as a low-carbon fuel for gas turbine, with focus on hydrogen solution for B&E gas turbines, solutions for B&E power generation application. With global LNG demand projected to almost double by 2040, decarbonization becomes crucial in helping Nigeria meet the world's growing energy needs. On Telecom Nigeria, MTN, Airtel and deposit money banks in Nigeria have been appointed by the Federal Inland Revenue Service to withhold or collect the value-added tax charged on all taxable supplies made to them and remit same to the agency. This is contained in a public notice issued by the FIRS on November 1st, signed by the Executive Chairman Mohammed Nami, which explained the rule of the companies as well as the obligation of their suppliers with regards to the withholding of the VAT. The FIRS noted that the companies must remit the tax withheld or collected in the currency of transaction to it on or before the 21st day of November immediately. And that's it for Business News. I am Nancy Onyebuchi. Good morning.
Connect fixed satellite internet up to 100 Mbps with unlimited data usage directly from space. Find out more on connect.com.
This show is brought to you by Connect, providing fixed satellite internet everywhere in Nigeria, even far from the city. Getting internet at home or at work has never been so easy with Connect.
welcome to our interview segment where we'll be looking at the International Monetary Fund, IMF, warns Nigeria of dollarization. Nigerians' economy may go under with dollarization, which is hard to revert once it takes hold, has been precipitated by crashing naira and rising inflation, according to the International Monetary Fund, IMF. A report by the IMF titled Digital Money and Central Bank Balance Sheets said market participants tend to protect themselves by holding dollars under high and persistent inflation environment, stressing that dollarization poses a threat to the Nigerian economy with the rising pace of dollar scarcity and high inflation. Joining us this morning to look at this is Odomo Ife, SA, Chartered Accountant. Good morning and thanks for joining us.
Yeah, good morning for having me also this morning.
Okay, now, first of all, what is dollarization of the economy?
Dollarization is the essence whereby you forget your local currency and you are basing your transactions on a foreign currency. And Nigeria today, we have lost confidence in our local currency, which is the naira. Everybody is going for the dollar because they know that the cost of a dollar and the dollar itself is stable in the international market. While our own naira fluctuates. Because why? We have so much relied on a consumption economy, not production economy. And that is what that's why some of these things should be changed in the next dispensation. Okay. Because we cannot continue this way. It's only a foolish man that does a thing for 1,000 years or for 1,000 times and he thinks that thing will change. It will never change. Now, dollarization will affect your monetary policy. It will affect your inflation rate because you have thrown away everything you need to do about your local currency, and he who plays the tune, or how do they say that? And he who plays the tune, he who plays the piper dictates the tune. Yes. If the dollar is coming in from the outside country, there is a little over which we have power over it. If the home country decide to have a different approach to their own issue, we have to beef up our base. We have to change from consumption to production to give the naira a backing. Now, the federal government through the CBN has come to say they want to redesign the naira. That is giving another pool. Okay,
before we actually go to the redesigning of the naira,
yes.
Why is IMF warning us about what is IMF actually warning us about?
Because if you go for what is called bi-monetary system, which means you are trading with two currencies, your currency has lost value. You are depending on the external currency. There will be too few naira to pursue the dollar. And what happens is a hyperinflation. And when hyperinflation takes place in the economy, it leads to social vices. And when social vices take place, it leads to social unrest. And when there is social unrest, then it is your turn to you, Israel. You are protecting yourself, I'm protecting myself. Any other thing can happen. So IMF is trying to forestall a situation where there will be total breakdown of law and order, in the sense that when inflation is too high, the common man cannot reach the market for the goods needed for himself and to sustain his family. Then he can decide to do whatever he feels to put food on his table. These are the things that the IMF is saying that they are for warning Nigeria not to dollarize. Concentrate on your own currency. Beef up your export base. We are not export based. Beef up your export base and make sure that you earn the foreign exchange legitimately. Look at what is happening now. Many people are now forcing their money back into the international market by using it to buy the dollar. Changing from your own local currency to the dollar is what they actually mean by dollarization. You are now giving the naira less power in the market. You are bringing in another foreign currency to take over. And it is very difficult by the time you fully dollarize to revert back to your local currency. That is where the whole problem is, because nobody will want to trade in that one anymore.
Okay, now there have actually been some level of dollarization of the economy for some time now. We've actually seen situations where, apart from us being more of an importing country, we've seen situations where politicians prefer spending the dollars rather than the naira. How do you actually see that?
Spending the dollar is cheaper, is faster, and it's easier. You can imagine you holding $1,000. How much naira is that? That's about 800,000. If it is 800, that's 80,000, something like that. How do you carry that volume of money and only $1,000 note will solve the whole problems? That is the reason why the politicians prefer the dollars. But again, too, if we have the anti-graft agencies that are doing their work, they will have been able to checkmate all this before now. But nobody is doing their work. Everybody has gone to sleep. Nobody carries Ghana Must Go. Do you have Ghana Must Go again? In the early 90s, we were having about 20 naira as the highest denomination in Nigeria. Then they moved to 50, 100 to where we are now. There was time in the National Assembly, they actually proposed that they should revert the money back to 20 naira denomination, so that for you to carry 1 million naira to go and bribe somebody, you have to charter a cab or even a bus to carry such money. And they prefer a way where they can put so much money in their pocket without anybody knowing it. If you put $10,000 in your pocket, if you come down to GBS where we are now and exchange it for naira, you know how much it is. So nobody wants to carry that volume of cash and, on the street. And again, the associated risk to carry so much money is so high, and everybody is afraid of his head. So the politicians prefer a soft landing. When they go for convention, when they go for campaigns, when they go for primaries, when they go for all these things they do, it is dollars they spend because it is easily carried. You don't notice it on time. What you give to 20 people can be in your pocket. But if you carry the naira, if somebody is telling you that I need 10 million naira before I can give you my word or give you my people's vote, 10 million naira, you carry it in naira, how do you think that it will be possible for you to move? But how much is 10 million naira in a dollar? Just very, very little in your hand. But the power behind it is significant.
Okay. Now, you actually mentioned the redesigning of the naira. Do you see that the redesigning of the naira is actually posing a greater risk to the dollarization in the economy?
It may not. It may not, in the sense that we have so many of these people who are having this money stacked away, either in their houses or somewhere else. They want to push the money back into the economy by taking them to the banks. But I like what the banks are doing now through the federal government. You cannot deposit more than 10 million, 5 million or 50 million or so. I can't remember the actual ceiling now at a time. And they will ask you, question you, where does this money come from? There was a man that took money to the bank, say having the paper jacket of Oceanic Bank, which has gone into oblivion long ago. So if they redesign the naira, most naira will not be able to find their way back into the system. And by so doing, we now have much dollar out there looking for money to buy them, and the few money that comes into the market but used by the politicians. Let me not use the word politicians because we are all involved. Every human being in Nigeria is a politician. Okay. It will not affect us more in the sense that we'll rush after the dollar. And most of these people that could not actually get their money into the banking system before the January 31st deadline, we want to use that money to buy dollar because the rate of dollar hardly goes down. The whole world is somehow attached to the dollar. The pound is higher, the euro is higher, but you hardly hear of those currencies when it comes into international market. Dollar has that edge over them. It's just like a summary of all the currencies put together. So they will still try as much as possible to use that money to buy those dollars. But the American government has a system of monitoring the movement of their currency. That's the point. It goes out, goes around the system and comes back to the treasury. That is what we don't have in Nigeria. That is why this problem we are facing today continue to persist. Let me tell you one thing. Let me not go there because that has to do with the refineries. Let me not go there now. Okay. That one can be reserved for another day. The dollar has been able to establish itself that every other foreign currency, including your own local currency, naira, is trying to benchmark. You know what it's called benchmarking? They are trying to benchmark the dollar. And by so doing, the dollar continues to gain more weight in the international market because you have to put more into the economy to get the dollar. And for your information, by the time the whole world looks up to the dollar for their foreign trade, the dollar will continue to go high while your own will be depreciating, in the sense that too much money will be prepared to go and bring that dollar into your own domain. And at the end of the day, you lose your base. Okay.
Now, with the constant fall of the naira to the dollar, how can the issue of dollarization be avoided?
How can you avoid dollar? You can only dictate you can only control what you produce. What you do not produce, you cannot control. Take the rent or the rental problem in Nigeria. They were trying to peg rent at a point in time. But you are pegging the rent, you say, okay, don't pay more than 30,000 naira per annum. And you have 50 people looking for a house just about 5 houses available. Can you control it? Now, if you say the constant depreciation of the naira should not affect the dollar. Do you have anything you are producing that will make your naira to show up? Do you have anything you are exporting that will make your naira to show up? And can you stay without stomach infrastructure? The most problem we have is the stomach infrastructure and the inability of the sincerity of we Nigerians, including myself, because I am not exonerated. I can be exonerated because I am not there yet. Maybe if I'm there, I don't know what will happen. So we cannot rule that one out. I have to feed my family. I have to take care of my extended family. And where is the naira to do it? My salary has been static for some time. The prices, the variable cost of running my home is increasing. The variable cost of running the economy is increasing. And we are talking of how the dollar will come into your pocket. You can only buy the dollar with the naira you have. If I want to buy, if I now say that, okay, I cannot buy more than 500 naira per dollar, somebody comes in and says, I will give you 1,000 naira because he wants to move his money from his local vault in his house to a safer place. If we push more money into the economy, into the market, while myself I will sit and be looking, like Bola said, that it is not the time of a sit down look, and nobody wants to do that again these days. The vices that this thing will bring, the dollarization, the vices that it will bring, will pull most of the naira out of the market. And let me not use you and I, because definitely you are a big babe. Most people will not be able to afford that dollar, and you have the naira that is very low. Remember what happened in Uganda when Idi Amin asked the CBN, their own central bank governor, to print money. The man said, I cannot print money. It will not have any value. You cannot match it with the dollar. That at the end of the day, the currency will become like a tissue, toilet paper. And Idi Amin got angry. You call my currency shit money? The guy, I will not, well, he successfully did not make it to the following day because of that single statement he made. So what are we talking about here? The dollarization issue is a serious problem that is confronting Nigerians, and until we have a thorough look into it, it will not solve the problem. Nigeria has a way of rigmaroling out of this issue. If actually we have that policy statement, the political will to tackle this issue, we may not go dollarization, in the sense that we have to put the indices on ground and let the law that establishes be strictly adhered to, so that nobody should be above the law, but the law should be above everybody.
Okay. All right. Before we continue, we'll be going on a break. Let's take our sponsor's message.
Connect fixed satellite internet up to 100 Mbps with unlimited data usage directly from space. Find out more on connect.com.
Okay, welcome back from that break. We now continue with our discussion, and our guest is still with us, Odomo Ife, a chartered accountant, chartered tax practitioner. Okay, now still looking at the redesigning of the Naira notes, what impact will it actually have on the economy? Do you see it adding value to the Naira?
If this is done, it will add value to the Naira, in the sense that so much money is outside this economy. The money we need to trade is outside this economy, is being snatched away by some few individuals. I don't know whether it is true or not. We have been seeing on the internet the movement of trucks with decayed Naira notes that people snatched away. Is that not wickedness, if actually it is correct that the news we are reading and saying is true? How do you stockpile such amount of money in your bedroom and people are suffering on the street? Many people don't have up to 500 naira in their pocket for a whole day together with their families. That thing has made so many families to lose value in the face of their children. Because when the father cannot produce for the family, what did the Bible call it? It says was an infidel. Now we have a situation like this. The government continues borrowing every day. When they borrow this money, some people will take them and go and stash them. They will not allow it to be used to trade. Now if they redesign this money, such money will become useless in the hands of the people that are stashing them if they could not convert them into the new Naira note. Remember, it happened around 84? Yes, 84. Because then we have the military head of state in the person of General Muhammadu Buhari and Idi Amin. they came and they changed the currency. So many people, so many of the who is who then had a problem of how to convert to the new note. Of course, because some of them were in jail, they could not come out of the jail to come and say, I have so money in so place. And that was how we lost all those money. Then we started afresh again. We are now back to the same scenario. What we should actually be talking about is, what is the actual cost? Why people remove money from the system and stockpile in their private homes? If we have a system that is working well, will you be able to do that? If we imbibe this, the story and the system of the Americans, will we be in this situation where we are? Until we stop giving credibility to mediocres and giving credibility to those who are credible, this problem will continue. Even in the next few years, they will want to redesign again. But the major success the redesigning will have is, it will make people be afraid not to be putting money under their underground in their various houses. There was a case in Lagos about a few years back. This man died and he was buried in penury. They even wanted to sell some of his properties to raise money for his burial. At the end of the day, they succeeded in selling the home he was living in Lagos before he died. They did the burial successfully. When the buyer took possession, he wanted to renovate the building. In the process of excavating, they brought Ghana Must Go. Several of them from underground, containing millions of naira. Now the question is, who owns that money now? Is it the buyer or the families of the deceased? Of course, the man bought the house. He didn't buy only the body. He bought the land inclusive. So the money definitely will not go to the families of the deceased. This is what the government is trying to prevent. Actually, Nigeria, it is not against it. The country is hungry. And we have very few people who are holding this money. You can imagine, somebody will come out and say, I am donating 50 million to a particular area in this flood period. Where has that man been when the whole country is crying of hunger? Where is that man that they cannot use such money to establish industries, companies where people will work? Where is that man they cannot bring independent power project to give us light? Do you know that if you fix light in Nigeria, all these issues we're having, most of them will be automatically solved? Because it is a system. You borrow money in Nigeria to buy diesel, to buy fuel, to run your generator, to do business. You get little money from the business, use it to pay your NEPA bill, the NEPA that you never used. Now the little one that is remaining, you apply it back into the economy. If they redesign this naira and we get a new one, so much money will be lost in the hands of the Shylock business people. To put it in a milder way, the art of Shylockism will be highly reduced, and it will have a perfect and a positive impact on the economy. But meanwhile, some of them are already working ahead of time. They give this money to different people to go and bank for them. The ones they could not, they are using it to buy foreign exchange. And that is what is leading to the scarcity of the dollars. The dollar is not your currency. It depends on America and their allies to get it. So when you bring $50,000 into Nigeria today and you have 20 million people waiting to convert it, what happens to it? The naira will continue to depreciate.
Okay, so what policy do you think the Central Bank of Nigeria can actually put in place to help strengthen the naira?
One, let us divorce ourselves from consumption nation to production nation. 2, encourage little enterprises. 3, open up the economy. Allow those that want to do business to come in freely and do it. We have several people who are waiting in the wings to bring in modular refineries. Up to date, how many of them have been given license to operate? We have those people that want to build independent power plants. How many of them have been given power to do it? We have so many people who are mentally stable that they have the brains of the man who can see tomorrow that are not being encouraged. You can imagine somebody went on the television, did all sorts of immoralities. At the end of the day, he's getting about 200 million naira reward. Why somebody who went to school came back with distinction, you are giving the person a laptop and a 10,000 naira and a handshake. Tell me, how do you match these two? Don't forget, of recent, a Nigerian girl became a major general in the US Army. If she comes out to Nigeria today, how would they treat her? Would they treat her like a hero? The answer is no. The answer is no. So if we actually want to strengthen the naira, if we want the economy to be opened up, give our legal system the backing. Let the laws be interpreted at the same level all across the courts. Not that this court will give a judgment here, you go to another one, you get a different judgment on the same issue. Simply because something must be playing under the table. Anybody found guilty should be treated according to the law. Like all this money that has been stashed away, has the government questioned anyone? How did you come about this money? Has the government been able to arrest anyone? Has the government been able to prosecute anyone? Has the government been able to jail anyone? how will this problem not continue? You and I cannot sit on a roundtable conference to eat a cow, and you come out and tell me that my head is like a cow. I will protest, of course. Unless, of course, we have this government any government at all. Let me not use this government because government is a continuum. If they should come and put their feet on ground, this is what the economic policy is. This is what the monetary policy is. This is what the physical policy is. Then, if you go against those things, let that person be prosecuted. Don't look at him that this person is my relation, is my cousin, is my friend, is my neighbor. Treat everybody like I said. The president said when he was coming in on May 29, 2015, I am for everybody, I am for nobody. We are still waiting for that statement to come to pass. Until we treat everybody equally before the law, any policy you put there, because the court is the hope of the common man. Now we don't even know where the common man is. Unless, of course, I won't take you as a common man or as a common woman.
Okay, this is where we must draw the curtain for today on the program. A very big thank you to our guest, Odomo Ife, as a chartered tax practitioner, chartered accountant. Thanks for being a part of the conversation today.
Yes, but I have a stage name that is called the Unordained Bishop.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, thank you so much, the Unordained Bishop, for your insightful contribution.
God bless you. Nigeria will survive.
Okay, this is wrapping up Business Angle for today, urging you to join us same time next week Tuesday for a fresh edition. I'm Mercy Amarsawari.
Connect fixed satellite internet up to 100 Mbps with unlimited data usage directly from space. Find out more on connect.com.